What up, folks? Well, I have to create the content. No one does the content that we do. Talking about the stock market, we led the week off talking about the HARAMi pattern. It looks bullish. I don't want to call it bullish, but it looks bullish. Why? Because the HARAMi is a bullish candle. The bullish candle is engulfing the rest of the candles, which gives the impression that it wants to go to the upside. So chronologically, because when I started the video earlier in the week, I only talked about the last candle. But as I looked through the pattern, I was like, okay, well, let's widen it out and let's look at the entire pattern. We start out in the bottom left-hand corner. It's on a level, and then it raises up out of that level, and then it goes sideways again, and then it raises up out of that level. With HARAMi, I don't want to call them bullish or bearish, but in this case, they're bullish. And you see price elevated. You don't have candles without the price. You don't have an RSI meter without the price. You don't have volume without the price. You don't have structure without the price. Is it bullish? I don't know if it's bullish. What's the price say? 50K. It's an all-time high. So if I apply the scale, the basic scale of 100, we're talking about 60, 50, 40. 60,000, 50,000, 40,000. Sound familiar? Bitcoin. The S&P and all the stock market, they're pushing in the upward direction, yet crypto is kind of in a downward direction. Bitcoin's coming down from 100K down to 60, 50, 40. And the Dow Jones, the US 30 is going up from 40, 50, 60. See, they're inverted. This may not make sense to a lot of people because they're too busy being abused by the abusers. They don't understand the financial system. I'm barely learning it myself. But I do know that we all have charts, and it allows us to understand what's going on in our financial system. And you can take advantage of it if you stop looking to the left and to the right and going down the middle through the basic scale of 100. But again, we're talking about the HARAMi that are in the pattern. I circled them chronologically. They stand out. When you understand what they are, you'll see them as you look through your patterns, and they'll start telling you a story. Right? 50 is in the middle of 60, 50, 40. 50 period is in the middle. It's the middle of price, 50%. These numbers come from God. The concept comes from God. How numbers work comes from God. While people are chasing clout and think they know this and think they know that, but don't know the basic scale of 100. If you don't know that, if it don't make dollars, then what are we doing? Right? So my goal in life is to promote the basic scale of 100 in all things. 50% of things, 100% of things, the internet of things, the internet of value, the internet of blockchain, separation of the rich and poor, the elimination of the middle class, the transfer of wealth is happening through the price. The price of what? The price of all things. Come on, man. What are we talking about? I ain't got time for the frauds and the clout and the clown show. I don't have time for it. All I have time for is the truth at this point for the rest of my life until I ain't got no more air left in my lungs. The truth is the truth. Everything else is cap. I'm trying to get as many people on the train because the better you get and we become a community, the better I get. And I want to be the best, right? I want to surround myself with the best. If I can't surround myself with the best, if I can't bring the best to the table, then why would I expect you to be the best? My job is never done. I have to keep talking about the things that are correct. That has everything to do with all of us, right? I said pretty much everything. We're talking about HARAMi patterns. You see, they will elevate. Where am I elevating to? It's at 50K. Well, 51K is the premium, 50K is the middle, and 49K is a discount in that small little scale right there. Because it's an all-time high, because we know that news is coming this week and it don't look good. It don't look like good news. Bad reports for the unemployment, fudging the numbers, acting like we got all these jobs when we don't have the jobs that we claim to have. It's going to cause the market to crash from January through February to March and April, just like it always does. Right? So I'm only at 5 minutes, 6 minutes in the message. I'm telling you everything, right? How to track it. And let's get to the tracking. Using my brokerage, because I trade a futures account, I need the futures price. And with the futures price, I can go into my broker and type in the future of the Dow Jones, which is YM, Yankee, Miami, right? YM. Type it into my brokerage account, and then I see the futures price. And then I can put the alert at the premium and at the discount and just let it work its way. And it'll tell me when it's at 49,000 or it's at 51,000. And then at 53,500, 48,500 down below. And then it just zigzags back and forth. And I'm setting the booby trap so it can tell me which price it's hitting. And I can take advantage, whether I want to sell at the top or buy at the bottom and stay out the middle. See? All you got to do is let it come to you. I'm teaching everyone exactly how to look at it. This is not an opinion. This is how you do it. Right? The more I can explain it, the better I get in implementing what I'm talking about. The best, the top shelf, right? So shout out to the people, because that's who we do it for, not the profits. It doesn't matter how much I make. It matters how much you make. Are you able to implement what I'm saying? Because if you can see it, you can say that you see it, and you can do what you say that you see, then obviously you can take care of the business. And then hopefully you pay it forward and not be a predator. You don't have to charge nobody for this information. It's free and public knowledge for everyone. Yeah, my time might be valuable. I want you to make money with your money. If you want to say thank you and send a donation later, hey, there you go. That just proves that, hey, this stuff works. It does. It's the math. So we want to be consistent and persistent, because that's what wins in the market. To beat the market, you must become the market. The market moves with integrity through its price. And if you lack the integrity of the price, you're going to get wrecked. You go to Loss Review and talk about the psychology. You know, you do the kumbaya party. Saying it's psychology that's messing you up. You know, you're taught the same lies and bullshit that we were all taught. There's no wonder why people make all the mistakes that they make, because we're being passed generational curses. And then once we get it, we pass it along, thinking it's the right information. No. People are suffering and then want to come out here with the mask on, acting like everything's Gucci and you keeping up with the Joneses, when you really losing your ass. I know. I've been there, done that. I'm not a millionaire yet. So good luck on the rest of the trading week. All I can do is talk about what's relevant to what's going on today, give you the numbers. Dealing with the stock market this week, we've talked a little bit about all kinds of different sectors. And now we're going to just talk about the stock market and these haramis and see how the HARAMi pattern is playing out. Do we get to 60K? 60K is the premium, 50K is the middle, 40K is the discount, which also applies to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's coming down to these levels. Rumor has it Bitcoin's trying to get down to 40K. That's the discount. So it's an ongoing journey of paying attention to what the chart says. The charts that have something to do with everyone, because the markets move off the back of the people. You would want to agree. Hey,